Hi, a very good afternoon to our respectful lecturer, Mr. Abdul Rauf, and my fellow friends. Today, we are from Group 4 going to present our group assignment, which is speech analysis report presentation, based on a talk titled as We Are Not All That Different, on race and culture identity topic by the speaker Seconde Nimenya. Before we further continue this presentation, I would like to introduce my group members. First of all, myself, my name is Priyadarshini Anna Prompan Raja. My metric number is 278923, followed by my group mates, Nadira, metric number 290021, Hasana, 278437, Atira, 277796, and Nadia, 281403. These are the questions in order to analyze the video and do our speech analysis report. So before I further continue this presentation, I would like to give a brief introduction on the background of the speaker named Seconde Nimenya. She is originated from Burundi, which is a country in East Central Africa and currently living in USA. She's an author and inclusion practitioner, offers a range of training and coaching programs in diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as personal and professional development. Seconde travels the world sharing a message of tolerance and peace, working to bridge the gaps between multicultural communities and urging others to use the adversity in life to become a better people. Through this talk, she has simplified the fact on how to evolve our lives through the adversities and to be the best version of ourselves. So next, I would like to pass this presentation to the next presenter.
Hello, my name is Nadira, matrix number 290021. I'm the first presenter, and I will start with the first question, which is how does the speaker gain the attention and interest of her audience? So she gained their attention through storytelling. She started off with her experience where she attended a talk by a Jewish gay man. Although initially she wasn't intending to pay attention, as she thought she wouldn't be able to learn anything from him. However, once she started to listen to everything he went through, she realized that their experiences of discrimination were not that different. She managed to relate his experience to her own despite neither of them having similarities in their identity. The usage of the word we in her sentences also showed the speaker's intentions of having people in the audience relate to the topic as well. So we will look at the first video.
It was about the speaker's experiences as a Jewish gay man. I knew I couldn't learn anything from this man. After all, I'm not gay, I'm not Jewish, and I'm not a man. So what could I possibly learn from him? But I had nothing else to do before my presentation, so I decided I would sit in the auditorium and just play on my phone. Once the speaker started sharing his message, I was instantly taken aback that I even forgot I was there to play on my phone. First, I was shocked by how much this man had gone through just to be accepted by society. And then I realized that even though his experiences were different from my own journey, we were not all that different.
Next, she also goes into her own experiences of discrimination where she struggled to fit into the society where she was seen as different compared to the people around her. She talks about how people did not believe her when she lied about her origins due to the accent she spoke with, as they stereotyped people from a certain place to sound a certain way. She was rightfully afraid of facing discrimination and judgment. She also shares her experience as a mother since her kids were discriminated against and called names when they first started school. Video.
In my early days of coming to America, I struggled with sticking out as different. Whenever people ask me, "What's your name, hon?" I would say, "My name is Seconde." And they would say, "Oh, you have a beautiful accent." And I would reply, "Thank you." But I was aware that my accent had an accent. So I already knew the follow-up question, which was, "Where are you from?" I would pause, think, and then say, "I'm Canadian." But they would ponder my answer, give
Next. The second question, which is, does the speaker establish her credibility? Credibility is about being competent to talk on a specific topic and being viewed as qualified to speak on it by your audience. The type of credibility she used is derived credibility, where everything a speaker says or does during the speech contributes to her credibility. So the first way she shows this is through her personal experiences of facing discrimination as an African woman in America. She shares how she faced discrimination and judgment in a society unfamiliar to her own in her own country. She is eligible to speak on this topic because as it comes to societal issues such as racism, it is best to speak as a person with personal experience against those issues. The video.
wars. I became a war refugee, and I lived in Canada for 12 years before moving to the United States. Moving from Africa to Canada and then to America meant that I had to deal with a set of new expectations from different people and different cultures. As a newcomer, there was always a place where my being different was pointed out, and not always in a good way.
She also shows her credibility through the fact that she advocates for educating about diversity by doing talks such as the one we're listening to bridge the cultural gap between differing communities. She made it her personal mission to be an advocate towards an open-minded society through her speeches, to eliminate the fear of being different or the fear of people who are different from themselves. Video.
I chose to advocate for and educate about diversity and to bridge the cultural gap between our communities. That became my passion and my mission.
Slide. So, what are the main points of Seconde's speech? There are two main points. The first one being it's to show that no matter your identity, we are not all that different. She wishes to send a message that no matter your gender, sexuality, race, or whatever you identify with, everyone is not that different, since at the end of the day, we're all human. For example, the speaker was listening to a talk given by a Jewish gay man, and although none of their identities were similar, she was still able to link their experiences and relate to this discrimination they faced. We can see this from the video.
And then I realized that even though his experiences were different from my own journey, we were not all that different. That day, here is what I learned. That whether you're gay or straight, black or white, Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, Democrat or Republican, human beings at their very core are yearning for the same thing, to be accepted for who we are.
Next, she also wishes to deliver a message that everyone should have an open mind when it comes to people from different backgrounds. It's important to have conversations regarding uncomfortable topics like racism to overcome those issues. For example, while the speaker was concluding her speech, she mentions how it's important to be brave and discuss uncomfortable topics, as well as be flexible and open-minded to people from differing identities of your own. You can see this from the video.
Be flexible. Even when something you don't understand or you don't agree with, have an open mind and learn what you don't know. In the end, it really comes down to giving a kind smile to a stranger, a handshake or head shake, to acknowledge somebody and say, I see you, I love you, you matter.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Asana. My metric number is 278437. I will explain about question number 4 and number 5. Question number 4 is about what type of organization does the speaker use? First is categorical pattern. Categorical pattern wants to be accepted for who they are by society, despite all of their differences. Let us watch the video first.
First, I was shocked by how much this man had gone through just to be accepted by society. And then I realized that even though his experiences were different from my own journey, we were not all that different. That day, here is what I learned. That whether you're gay or straight, black or white, Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, Democrat or Republican, human beings at their very core are yearning for the same thing, to be accepted for who we are.
The speaker successfully emphasized her point by going over this subject and using example from her own experiences. Next. Second organization that the speaker used is chronological pattern. Chronological pattern is organizing her personal narrative, beginning with her childhood in war-torn country, become a refugee, and later settle in Canada. This pattern demonstrates how the speaker gives the audience a clear timeline and setting so they are able to understand her journey.
I was born and grew up in Burundi, a small country located in East Central Africa. From the age of 6, I had experienced civil wars, constant unrest and destruction in my country that I felt ashamed of the war stigma and the many invisible wounds it inflicted on me. And as a result of the ongoing civil wars, I became a war refugee, and I lived in Canada for 12 years before moving to the United States. Moving from Africa to Canada and then to America meant that I had to deal with a set of new expectations from different people and different cultures.
For question number 5, how does the speaker use the resources of the language? In order to ensure that her listener perceive what she's trying to inform, a speaker must use a proper language in a clear and accurate manner. First is emotional language. Part 1, speaker express her speech by using emotional language, especially when she used to describe and express her emotion.
I wanted to belong and to be fully accepted.
For part 2, speaker demonstrate empathy as she acknowledged young people struggle related to social identity and self-esteem.
Today, I see how the fear of our differences is affecting the youth in our schools and communities across America, and the growing disconnect young people feel when it comes to their social identities. When I speak to students in high schools or colleges and universities, the number one hurdle they share is not about academic achievement. No, it is about the fear of being different and the threats they sometimes face on their campuses or in their communities, mostly because of their race, gender, sexual identity, and religion.
Second is personal anecdotes. Personal anecdotes is to share her personal story or experiences to make the speech more relatable and provide concrete examples to support her message.
It was all smooth sailing. But what I learned came from some of the most difficult situations, especially as a mother. Situations like when my children came home from school, crying because they had been called names by their classmates when they had started school. Names such as chocolate milk, or asked whether their mom drank too much black coffee when she was pregnant. Granted, these words had a racial connotation, but 5, 6, and 7-year-old children are not racist. Those kids were only acting out of what they didn't know and what they have not been taught.
So that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Siti Wanur Atira Pitirapi. I will explain about question number 6 and number 7. Connectives were, what are the types of connective used by the speaker in the speech? Connective words are words or phrases that link thoughts and sentences together in speech. So basically, there are several connective words used by speaker, which is coordinating connectives and transitions words. Coordinating connectives are the words a, but, or, nor, so, and yet, while transitions words include because, since, although, if, while, and unless. So there is an example for the coordinating connectives. So let's watch the video. Sorry. For an example for the coordinating connectives are the speaker said, I am not Jewish and I am not man. So let's watch the next video. So an example for the transitions words, the speaker has said because they had been called names by their classmates when they had started school. Okay. For question number 7, explain the speaker's voice during the speech. There are several speakers' voice during the speech. The voice of speech is extremely important for grabbing the audience attention, communicating feelings, and emphasize important topics. So the speaker use clarity, tone, pitch, and volume. For the clarity, the speaker demonstrates clarity by using precise words and make sure that the audience can get what she's saying. Next, for the tone of voice, her tone contributes to how well the message is received. her tone of voice is appropriate for the speech goals. Besides that, the speaker's speech makes the pitch more interest. And last but not least, the speaker's volume has made sure that her voice is loud enough for the entire audience to hear. That's all from me. Thank you. I will pass the presentation to the next speaker.
Hi, so I'm the fourth presenter and my name is Nadia, metric number 281403. And I'm going to continue this presentation to explain the speaker's body during the speech. Body language, on the other hand, is a nonverbal communication that combines several aspects, such as personal appearance, movement, gestures, and eye contact. Not only with that combination, but also with how someone looks, talks, and moves during a speech. Now, let's play the video clip before we analyze the speaker's body language based on those aspects.
Plenty of time to kill. At this particular keynote, I didn't want to go in the auditorium to listen to the talk. I didn't want to go because the topic was about something I didn't think I could relate.
As we can see in the video, the speaker's Seconde presented her ideas while wearing a semi-casual attire. Seconde's attire was a perfect blend of modern sophistication and her cultural heritage, as it shows her confidence and professionalism. Her choice to apply light makeup instead of heavy makeup enhanced her facial features, allowing her expression to be easily read by the audience, effectively conveying her emotion and passion throughout her speech. Next, Seconde's speech was not only a powerful display of words, but her body movement also contribute to the impact of her message. As she took the stage, she began with a confident stride, walking purposefully towards the center, instantly commanding attention. Her posture was upright, projecting strength and poise. Her movement also matched with the rhythm of her speech and the emotional tone of her message perfectly. The seamless coordination of her body movement with her words created a visually engaging experience that captivated the audience. Next, to discuss the speaker's gestures throughout her speech, with simplicity and calmness in her movement, Seconde hand gestures serve as a powerful tool to amplify the delivery of her message. Her choice of simple hand gestures was purposeful and aligned with the overall tone and content of her talk. For instance, she often used open palms facing upward, a gesture that symbolized openness, invitation, and vulnerability. Lastly, the way the speakers establish and maintain eye contact with the audience create a more powerful impact to her speech. Her consistent eye contact added a layer of connection and authenticity to her delivery of speech, making it truly engaging experience. Her gaze was steady and focused, showing her confidence and presence. This unwavering eye contact made a strong connection with each member of the audience, making them feel seen and valued. Next, for question 9. So I'm going to explain about what kind of reasoning the speakers realize most. I'm going to explain about what kind of reasoning the speakers realize most throughout the speech. So reasoning is the process of reaching a conclusion based on evidence. It is required to comprehend our own experience, to draw inference from given information, as well as present some fresh ideas. Based on my research, there are 4 types of main reasoning depending on the situation, which is reasoning from specific instances, reasoning from principle, causal reasoning, and analogical reasoning. So from the secondary speech, we can see that she relies heavily on the two to reasoning from specific instances and analogical reasoning to effectively convey her message. First, let's take a look on the first video to support my statement that she used reasoning from specific instances.
In my early days of coming to America, I struggled with sticking out as different. Whenever people ask me, "What's your name, hon?" I would say, "My name is Seconde." And they would say, "Oh, you have a beautiful accent." And I would reply, "Thank you." But I was aware that my accent had an accent.
So as we can see in the video, she uses reasoning from specific examples by sharing her personal anecdotes and stories about her own experience and observation. She invites the audience to empathize with her and see the broader implication of her experience by telling specific instances of discrimination, cultural clashes, and or moments of connection. Secondly, establish a relatable and emotional connection with the audience through these personal examples, allowing them to see the universal concepts and challenges within the context of race and cultural identity. Next, Seconde also employs analogical reasonings to draw parallels and connects various cultures and their shared experience. So before I explain further, let's watch the video clip first.
That day, here is what I learned. That whether you're gay or straight, black or white, Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, Democrat or Republican, human beings at their very core are yearning for the same thing, to be accepted for who we are.
From the video, we can see that she frequently compares her experience as a Burundian immigrant to those of other cultural or racial groups, pointing out the similarities in their struggles, dreams, and desires. She helped the audience to comprehend and embrace the common humanity that supports diverse cultural identities by using analogies and drawing on shared experience. This type of reasoning enables her to bridge cultural divides and foster a sense of unity and understanding. That's all from me, so I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Next, I will continue this presentation with question 10, which sounds, what type of emotional appeal does the speaker use? Are they effectively used? So, first of all, I would like to explain about what is meant by emotional appeal. Emotional appeal is a tool used by speakers most commonly to connect with their audience's emotions, values, and interests. Herewith, they can improve their ability to remember the value and interest level and persuasion of the information provided. So in this situation, the emotional appeal used by the speaker is appeal of humor. Her use of humor throughout the speech regarding her origin can help the audience feel more connected and at ease with her, which makes it simpler for them to develop a personal connection with her real life experience. The appeal of humor has also attempts to persuade by invoking feelings of good humor and laughter among the audiences. The speaker has used humor appeal with the purpose of trying to gain the audience attention and also to have the message be viewed as more likable by the audiences. So here are the video showing the example of appeal of humor that used by the speaker.
Where are you from? I would pause, think, and then say, "I'm Canadian." But they would ponder my answer, give me a once over, and ask again, "But where are you from originally?" With a fat emphasis on originally. It wasn't until one day my two teenage daughters sat me down, looked me in the eye, and with a teenage attitude said, "Mom, we've noticed that each time people ask you where you come from, you lie." Yeah, it was like a mini intervention or something.
Next, the speaker has also used the appeal of compassionate to evoke a sense of empathy, concern in the audiences. This will also ponder the misfortune of others. Besides, this will definitely create a feel of sadness looking to what her Seconde family has gone through. Through this video, we can know that she has evoked the feeling of empathy through her life experiences of being judged or marginalized by society together with her kids who went through verbal abuse in school.
Situations like when my children came home from school crying because they had been called names by their classmates when they had started school. Names such as chocolate milk or asked whether their mom drank too much black coffee when she was pregnant. Granted, these words had a racial connotation, but 5, 6, and 7-year-old children are